everybody, it's Thaddeus and Christian from Sprout City Studios again with another video on some random stuff. I actually am in the dark about what's happening right now. These guys have made a plan to blind test me about some amplifiers, I believe.
Yes.
Different guitar parts to prove how good software has become, I believe, or how maybe it's not up to snuff. We'll see.
The point of the video is just to embarrass you.
Oh.
So what we're doing basically is me and some of our interns, we recorded a few different guitar parts direct into one of our preamps here at the studio. Clean DI right into there and then reamp that signal into 6 different amps.
Okay.
Some are software, some are tube amps, some are solid state, some are just weird.
Okay.
One is just weird. The rest of them are fairly normal. And basically, we're just going to go through. I'll let Thaddeus listen to the different samples of them. 3 different styles of playing have been recorded. And then you just have to guess which one is which.
Okay.
I took this test, and I got 50%. And like a couple of those amps, I play fairly often. I got them wrong. So I think this will be pretty difficult.
That's awesome.
So we have a bunch of different amps here at the studio. We used a few of those as well as a couple from my personal collection. So first one was the studio's AC30, so the Vox AC30. Another one was I think it's called Hot Tone, but it's spelled Hotone. So I've just been saying Hotone for a long time.
Hotone.
But that can't be what they're going for.
You playing that Hotone?
So the Hot Tone Legacy, let me grab it. Actually. And it's just a tiny, tiny little 5-watt solid state head.
Maybe it's Hot One.
It could be Hot One, I guess. This company makes a bunch of cheap, tiny little pedals. They're like $50 each, and they like model other stuff. But this thing sounds pretty good, so I thought it might be a good curveball for you. After that, we did. I tried to use the soft tube plugins, but they weren't really up to snuff. I thought they were a little bit too noticeable. Okay. And you use them all the time, so you recognize them.
Yeah.
So we used something called Guitar Rig.
Okay.
Actually,
the IK.
I don't think it's IK. I'll check later, but it's something. And then we used a Logic amp. Just one of the stock Logic plugins. We used my gigging amp, which is a Laney Lionheart L5T.
Cool.
Small Class A tube amp. And then we used the studio's Rickenbacker. It's like this super old solid state analog amp.
It's shocking how much I love that little amp. It's ridiculous.
When I didn't realize it, but I looked at the transients, the waveforms, and they are like...
Totally.
Like it's punchy.
It doesn't lose any transients.
No, it's a quick little sucker. Mm-hmm. Also, stupid loud.
I know. For like 15 watts.
It's got like a 10-inch speaker. It's like this big. Anyways.
Let's do it.
Let's begin. And I will record your answers, and I'll display them on the screen so you can keep track with us. First one. Here we go. Let me play you the second. This is the same amp, but the second playing style.
Okay.
Okay, and then here's just some chords.
Okay.
Sorry, I like that chord. I wanted to let that one.
That's the chord we've been waiting for.
That's the chord. All right. So, total shot in the dark. What do you think, amp 1?
I mean, without any context, that could really be anything since it's clean. Mm-hmm. It has a lot of lower mid-range bottom end, and I can't tell if that's because of the mic position, if you have it pretty close to the...
Oh, they're all really close. They're right up on the grill.
So that might make it even harder because you can usually, if you have a mic distance of about this far away or more, it really becomes obvious what type of an amp it is because of the low end buildup that you get closer to the speaker with a directional mic anyway. But just off the top of my head, I would actually probably say that was software.
Okay.
Because of the consistency of it on all the styles. I don't know which version of software. It could be that Guitar Rig, because I don't really know that.
Okay.
Could be the Logic. I don't know. But that's my first guess out of nowhere.
Okay. On to the next.
Okay. This is a hard choice. I would say I would split it between the Vox AC30 and your Laney.
Okay.
That'd be my first guess. I would actually
I'll put
say
down
if I knew
both.
that it was in there, I would say that it was like a Fender Twin.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think that's what you have going on, unless you're
Why do
unless
you
you're
say
throwing
that?
me a curveball, because of the way the high end kind of does this kind of shimmery thing on those open strummed chords versus the plucked stuff. That's just what twins. They have that sparkle, you know.
Okay, next amp.
I'm gonna bet that this one is that Hot Tone
Okay.
Direct, right? You said it didn't have a amp cab.
Right.
Yeah.
Actually,
Either that or it's the Rickenbacker or something. It just sounded solid
I
state.
did forget to tell you one thing about, now that you mentioned the hot tone, I just remembered. I did, after we recorded the direct out of that thing, we put it through just a cab sim on Logic.
So it does have a cab on it.
It has a cab.
Okay.
Because it was so noticeable direct that there was no noise.
Yeah, that's
So-
what I was wondering. I was gonna be like, yeah, that one sounds like somebody just plugged a guitar straight in with a wire. But yeah, so I mean, my guess
Hotone.
is that one was a solid state amp of some kind.
Okay.
That's my guess.
Okay.
Either that or it's kind of an annoying speaker in them. Because it's got that weird, like, 1K.
Okay. Sidebar.
Excuse me.
When you listen to different amps, what would you say are the characteristics of amps with like smaller speakers versus bigger speakers? Like typical ones are like 10, 12s, and then occasionally a 15-inch speaker.
Well, it depends on if they're combo. Like, if you have a 10-inch speaker, but you've got 4 10-inches, that's very different than like a single 10.
Right.
Is that what you're asking? Or
Yeah, like different speaker combinations.
Well, if you have 4 10-inch speakers, that's actually quite a bit more surface area than 2 12-inch speakers. Even though people don't think about it like that, you actually get a more built-up low-frequency content in amps that have smaller speakers but lots of them. Versus, and some cabinets, are any of these cabinets closed back? I think everything you mentioned was an open back.
They're all open.
Okay. If you have a closed back cabinet, it's going to have a very different low frequency kind of thing going on than an open back cabinet. So
The low frequency thing is upper lows. Upper
Right.
lows?
upper lows, the high lows.
The high lows.
Yeah, something like that.
New band name.
Yeah.
Okay. Next amp.
For some reason, I don't know, but this could be your Laney or it could be software.
Okay.
Do any of the softwares generate that background noise?
Yeah, both of them do.
Okay. Then yeah, this could easily be software. And the reason I say that about that particular one is that it doesn't feel like it has the same crest factor. For some reason, it's like the low frequencies, the mid-range frequencies, and the high frequencies have a different kind of value to how percussive they feel.
Okay. This is the last one here.
Okay. Bring it!
And it is not producing sound.
But for why?
Because I'm a dummy. One moment, please.
I'm listening to this audiobook right now called Shogun. Have you guys heard of it?
Shogun.
You finished that.
I've been saying that a lot. My wife wants to kill me.
Shogun.
All right.
You got this?
No. Well,
Should we
this is the
pause it?
software amp. So,
Is it like a plug-in problem?
yeah, it's a problem with the plugin. Apparently, we had it on a demo, and the demo has expired.
See, this is the problem with that as well. You want to demo? Was this the IK?
No, it's
not
from
the IK.
Complete, I guess.
Complete?
Yeah.
Well, let's just
Now I feel bad, but I said 6 amps, and there's only 5.
We'll just make up another new amp right now.
But you're gonna know it's software.
No, well,
Yeah.
We'll leave it in. It's funny. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, our demo expired, I guess. Full transparency.
I didn't
Okay.
know. Did you download it specifically for this purpose?
I didn't download it. I was just like, oh, the Softtube one doesn't sound very good. So I was like, let's find something else. And
That's
there,
interesting. I wonder
was
why
another.
it didn't sound good to you. I can make that thing sound exactly like a Fender, exactly like a Vox AC30.
I've heard you do it, and I've heard great things about the Softtube pack. I just was like,
Yeah,
I couldn't-
You just got to play with it a while because it's finicky, just like the real old amps are. Like you got to get the knobs just right.
anyway, so now we'll be going out of 5.
Okay, we have 5 amps to pick from.
5 amps.
Was there one that I never mentioned? It was a Rickenbacker.
Let me go through what you said. So the first one you were like, oh, this one has a lot of lower mids.
Right. And it
you
made
thought
me
it was
also wonder.
software.
Yeah, it could also have been the Rickenbacker. That was the
Okay.
other thing I wanted to say at the beginning, but I wasn't sure until I heard some of the other ones.
Okay.
So that first one could have been Rickenbacker or whatever I said before too.
You said either some software or a Rick.
Okay.
Second one you thought was either the AC30 or the Laney.
Okay.
Third one you thought definitely solid state, and you said, I bet it's the Hotone, the hot one.
The Hotone.
The Hotone. Fourth one, you were like, oh, that palm muting makes me think it's the AC30 for sure.
Right. Or a tube amp that's like the AC30, but I was assuming it was the AC30 because that's
And then 5, you thought, oh, this is either software or your Laney.
okay.
Because you're not super familiar with that amp anyways.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what would you can have another round of hearing things. Just let me know what you want.
Let me hear that first one more time.
Okay, first one.
Now that I've heard all these other amps.
Do you want the ragtime or the Daft Punk?
Give me the Daft Punk bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I would still stick with my original assessment there. I
Okay.
don't know what it is, but
You think software?
yeah, software or Rickenbacker. That's my guess, but who knows? I could be totally wrong.
You have to give one. Not right now, but you will have to give one. Let's listen. What else would you like?
I mean,
Just go down the
just
list.
go through all of them. Is there a way you can just loop like
A section.
a 1-bar section and then
flip.
just go through all of them? Just say 1, 2, 3, 4.
Absolutely, I
okay.
can. Okay.
You'd be like, final round, instant death.
Yeah, the speed round.
Yeah, speed
So
round.
I'll just let it go like a little bit, an undetermined amount. So I'll do number 1 again then.
Okay. That could be the Rickenbacker too. I don't know. Okay.
4,
Yeah. Okay.
5.
those last two just feel like tube amps or a tube amp emulation on software. That last one feels like something trying to be a tube amp or a tube amp that's got a saturated transformer or something. I don't know, but whatever. So, okay, I have to pick. So, number one, I would say that is something dry like the Rickenbacker or, yeah, so let's just go with that.
The Rick. Okay.
The Rickenbacker.
Okay. 2.
2 was the, what did I say originally?
You said either AC30 or the Laney.
I don't even know if I might want to change that now that I've heard those 4 and 5.
You can hear them again if you like to.
I think 2, play 2 one more time, just so I can.
A lot of writing on this.
Let me hear 4 again.
4, yeah, because you thought this one was the AC30 for sure.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so what are the choices between all the amps you have? You got the Rickenbacker, the Laney,
the Laney,
AC30, and
Hotone,
Hotone, and then software?
and then Logic.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 2, it's like hard for me to tell because
2 are actual tube amps.
right, no, like 1 and 2
Oh, 1 and 2.
sound to me like they're the most obvious, like either dry solid state or software emulating an amp. And then 3 felt like it was, something like that thing. And then 4 and 5 both felt more like tubes to me. So,
Okay.
and I would say that 4 is probably the AC30, 5 is probably the Laney.
Okay.
So that must mean that 2 and 3 are, so let's see. Play 2 and then play 3.
Okay.
I think 3 is actually, it's got to be that hot one.
Here's 2. Oh, sorry. That's actually a couple at once. Here's 2. Here's 3.
Okay. I'm going to say that 2 is the Logic amp and 3 is the hot one and 1 is the Rickenbacker.
Okay, you said 2 Logic, 3 hot one.
Yep.
And then you said 1 is the Rick.
Yep.
4 AC30, 5 Laney. Okay.
I'm at a decision and I might be wrong about all of them. We'll see. This is going to be embarrassing.
Let us begin. So, here's number 1. You thought was the Rick. But you did not hear the little tube jingle.
Oh, I hear it now.
It is my Laney.
Okay.
Okay, so it's the Laney. 2.
So that means I got 2 wrong already.
Yep. This one is number 2. You said Logic, which makes sense why you said Logic because it sounds like one of their cabs because one of their cabs is on it.
And it's the hot one?
It's the hot
Okay.
one. So I'll give you half credit for that.
Okay. That's 50-50.
Okay. But that one definitely has like the most like direct sounding. Okay, Logic amp is 3, which you thought
And
was
this
the
is straight
Hotone.
Logic?
Straight
like
Logic.
direct into a Logic amp.
Yeah, nothing else.
Okay.
And if you're curious, let's see, what amp is it? Oh wait, no, that was the hot one. It was just the British combo. Okay, and then here's number 4, which is not the AC30.
Oh, really?
It's the Rick.
Wow.
Sounds
listen
good, though.
Listen to how much punch there is underneath each pause.
Yeah. And like,
And I'm surprised how much noise floor it has for not being a tube amp.
yeah, it is noisy for sure. I think if you had listened to just the chords on all these, you would feel differently, because this one like here's the chord. You can hear every string rake like
Right.
pretty incredible.
And that's the Rick?
That's the Rick.
Yeah, okay. That was the most annoying one.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, why would this feel so annoying on those high bits? It's because every string.
Every string.
There's no mushiness.
Here is the last one, which is the AC30.
Okay, so
Still punchy, but has
close.
some lows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised how much that fooled me on number 4.
So I don't know. What did we learn today?
It's hard to tell without any reference. I mean, most people making
Yeah.
rock albums now use a combination of amp simulated things, reamped guitars through real amps.
Yep.
I mean, there's a lot of people out there making guitar tones with all sorts of amps as well live. So, I mean, there. Have you ever listened to Queens of the Stone Age records? Either of you?
Just the big one. That has Dave Grohl on it.
Those guys have used there's several that had Dave sitting in on drums, but they use like little tiny pig nose amps sometimes for
Those
their
things
tones,
are
and
nasty too.
They're just huge for like this tiny little silly amp. So it's really hard to tell, without being in front of it, what you're.
Yeah. I'll also add that I tried very, very hard to confuse you.
It worked.
I tried a bunch of different like amps and sims and stuff in Logic and miking techniques and stuff like that to make it all sound like as homogeneous as possible. I messed with the tone on the amps quite a bit.
You were trying to make them all more close to each other.
Yes, I tried to make them all as close to each other as possible.
Well, good job. You fooled me well.
Thanks.
But honestly, this kind of thing is like, you would have a really hard time telling the difference between some software and real amps now. That's really awesome.
I think guitar players, we talk about like our tone, like
you're all snobs, man.
we're all snobs. But that Logic amp I thought sounded pretty good.
Yeah, they did
know.
a really good job, making a Vox AC30 kind of amp.
And you said that was either an AC30 or my Laney, which sounds quite a bit like an AC30.
Right.
So, yeah, they did a good job.
Right on. Well,
That's a wrap.
thank you for fooling all of us. I'm wondering if anybody at home would be able to even tell what was going on.
Actually, I'll put that in the description so you can do this beforehand. But I won't reveal what the amps are as we're going through them, so you can listen and try.
You should do your own test, just listening to what I was listening to, see what you come up with.
Comment
Don't watch
below.
the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, make some comments and let us know what else you'd like us to try out here, because we're down to do whatever. Also, you should check out our class listing. We've got classes coming up for audio engineering of all styles. We're also going to be having some mixing workshops coming up with hip hop and rap and a rock band. So if you'd like in all those, just get a hold of us and we'll let you know what the dates are coming up.
Let's close with a high five.
High five!